Welcome YouTube, welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'm bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We have content coming out every single week. So for today's episode, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. Oftentimes we're going over strategies and ways to play, ways not to play sometimes. And it occurred to me that as we've done these, we've never actually explained exactly what a place bet is for those people that don't know how to play at all. So that's what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover place bets. So you've got your pass line bet, whatever it may be. The come out roll comes, and let's say in 8 rolls. So now, of course, you can place your odds over there. And there are come bets, which we have covered in another video, although we'll cover them in more depth as an instruction in a further video. But place bets, the most common bet to play. So what is a place bet? A place bet is where you are picking numbers and you are placing bets on them. You're placing bets on those numbers. You're saying you think those numbers are going to roll, and you put your bet down, and every single time that number rolls, you win. It is not a one-time bet. Your bet will remain up on this table all the way up until a 7 out comes. So while there is a point, this is when you want to place your place bets. Now there's a couple different ways you can do them. You can pick individual numbers. You can tell the dealer, I want to bet the 9. I want to place the 6. You can do them in lots or groups, such as the inside numbers, which are these 4. Now if you have a pass line bet, even if you don't, they're never going to assume you want to include the point, because most people don't. So if you said you wanted to bet the inside numbers, they would assume it's these 3 numbers. If the point were 10, they would assume you wanted to bet these 4 numbers. If the point were 6, they would assume these 2 numbers. Or these 3 numbers, I'm sorry. Now then there's also the outside numbers, which are these 4. So if the point we're in here, they would assume you want to bet these 4 if you said outside. If the point we're 5, they're assuming you want to bet these 3. So on and so forth, the outside numbers. Or a cross. And a cross is every point except for the point itself. It's every number. Okay. If you're unfamiliar with the amounts, just ask the dealer how much for a cross, or how much for inside, or how much for outside, because it does change based on what the point is going to be. Okay. So we're going to assume this is a $5 table just to make things a little bit easier to go over how the place bets work or how they pay. Okay. So let's say you wanted to place the 10. So it's a $5 minimum, so you'll place the 10 for $5. Okay. So how does it pay? Well, the 10 pays very similar to how odds pay. So if the point were 4, you could place odds down. Now, how do odds pay? Odds on the 4 and 10 pay double. So this 5 would pay 10. Place bets have a small house edge built in. So instead of double, every $5 will pay you $9. Every 5 pays you 9. There is an except when it comes to the 4 and 10, however. A lot of casinos, that except occurs at 25. If you were to place it for 25 or you to press it up for 25, it would then become a buy. They would theoretically slide it inside and place a buy button on it. Some casinos don't do that anymore because they just know it's a buy, so they just pay it as a buy but leave it as a place bet. Now a buy is a place bet that is paid like odds minus a 5% commission. So this would have a $1.25 commission. They would actually round that down to $1. So this $25 would actually pay $49. So there still is a small smidge of a house edge built in. So let's say you wanted to place the 5 or the 9. That also would be $5. If the point were a 5, how do odds pay? Well, odds pay every 2 pays 3. It pays like blackjack. Every 2 pays 3. So for your odds, you usually want to be an even dollar amount, so you would make it 6 so that could pay 9. Now, if you just left $5 there, you would get paid $7 because this would pay $7.50, and tables don't have 50-cent pieces. So they would keep that breakage, and you would just get paid $7, which coincidentally is how 5 pays over here. 5 and 9, every 5 pays 7. There's a small house edge built in there, 50 cents basically per $5 bet. So every 5 will pay you 7 there. So every time it rolls, you're going to get paid $7 if you same bet it, if you keep it the exact same. So what about the 6 and 8? Well, the 6 and 8, if you say I want to place the 6, or the 8, I'm sorry. If you say I want to place the 8, they're going to tell you drop me $6. You're going to throw in your $6. They're going to place that for you. Why 6? Again, house edge. 6 and 8 pay the same on odds, so let's say the point was 6. You put $5 back there on odds, where every 5 pays you 6. Every $5 pays you 6 in odds back here. So in order to build in a little bit of a house edge, they're going to have to increase that slightly. Every 6 will pay you 7. Every 6 pays you 7. So on the 6 and 8, you always want to be in units of 6. Everything else you want to be in units of $5. 6 and 8, you want to be in units of 6. Yes, you could do improper bets. Yes, there are people that do improper bets, and yes, those are actually very stupid bets. When you're doing an improper bet, you are getting paid an improper amount, which means there is some breakage, some change that the casino is keeping. Change doesn't sound like a lot until you keep in mind that a lot of the people that I deal with on a daily basis that have improper bets, I'm dealing with on a daily basis, which means that they probably in the 5 to 7 hours that they are playing on the table probably had us keep their change maybe, well, geez, you got to figure probably at least 20 times an hour. So figure it's just change depending on what it may be. Let's say they're averaging 50 cents in breakage, although most of them it's actually much, much higher because their improper bets tend to be real close to a proper bet. So, but we'll say 50 cents. That means every hour they're giving us $10. They're giving the casino $10. So $70 in a 7-hour gambling spree, and these people tend to play 4 or 5 days a week. So you're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars in the breakage that they are giving to the casino because they don't want to make a proper bet. It's perfectly fine with the casino. They're certainly going to allow it. It can also slow the game down when you get to larger amounts and you're doing them improper because it forces the dealers and the supervisor to stop the game every time that number rolls so they can make sure that they have figured out the proper payout. So it's best to make these proper. $6 on 6 and 8, $5 on all the rest. Those are the units. Everything is in units. If you want to increase your bet, you can do it by units. You could say one of two things. You could say press. Press always means double the bet. If the dealer does not double the bet but does something different, they're not a very good dealer. Press always means double the bet. But you can also press 1 unit, press 2 units. Now when you're down to 1 unit, when you're starting out with 1 unit, obviously if you press, you're pressing 1 unit. So it doesn't matter what you say, you're pressing up 1 unit. For instance, with the 8 units of $6, if that were to hit and you said press me 1 unit, you would receive $1 back, and now your bet is $12. It went up 1 $6 unit. If it were to hit again, now you could do one of two things. You could say press, which would double your bet from 12 to 24, or you could say press me 1 unit, which would just increase you from 12 to 18. So on and so forth as you continue to go up with your bets, if you choose to do so. If not, no big deal. Place bets here are by far the most common bet in craps, and it is one of the best bets in craps. There is another video that we have done showing the differences between come bets and place bets and why it makes more sense to do place bets in most situations. Unless you're on a 20 times table, then it might start to make a little bit more sense to do a come bet. I hope this video has explained place bets to those of you that do not know how to play this game or don't understand place bets, and I hope it helps you when you are playing. Always feel free to ask the dealers for help. The dealers are more than happy to help people. And as usual, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we will catch you next time.